Hey guys, it's BB202 with some more LEGO Castle set news. This time around, we're going to be breaking down one of the latest Bricklink Designer Series projects. We're actually already up to Series 4, if you can believe it, and that is the Siege Encampment by Sleepless Night. This set is going to go for $230. They're looking to get at least 3,000 pre-orders to produce it, which it certainly will. Once it gets there, they're going to sell up to 30,000 copies of this set. Pre-orders start on February 4th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and I expect it to do numbers. It's going to sell out pretty quickly. I think it'll get to that 30,000 in no time. There is a second castle set up for consideration. That's the Seaside Market. I'm probably going to break that down in a separate video. I think I just want to focus on them individually and sort of give you the pros and cons, and at the end tell you which one I'd rather get. But let's take a look at the Siege Encampment first. This is by Sleepless Night. That's the designer behind the Mountain Fortress set from last year, which did very well. Sort of a companion piece to the Lion Knight's Castle, the official set from 2022. And before I start breaking down this set, let's take a look at what Sleepless Night has to say about it. So down in his designer interview under the Siege Encampment project page, this is what he says. He says, "The Mountain Fortress project turned out to be a big success, but before the crowdfunding began, I wasn't so sure that would be the case. So to draw the attention of the fans, I shared photos on social media showing the castle under siege by Lion Knights, equipped with weapons, siege engines, tents, and wagons. Fans responded enthusiastically, with some noting that while the LEGO Group already offers several castles, a set featuring siege equipment and tents would be a valuable addition, turning display sets into playsets. This aligned perfectly with my belief that LEGO sets should offer as much play value as display value. You've likely noticed the Black Falcons had long been plotting to take the Lion Knight's castle, so the decision was clear. A siege camp needed to be designed. I thought it would be exciting to continue the story from Mountain Fortress with the Black Falcons laying siege to the Lion Knights. A fan suggested we design the set to allow for role reversal, and we did just that." That's an interesting concept and a good suggestion by that fan. When we're taking a look at this product right here, it is very easy to swap it out and have a role reversal, Black Falcons or Lion Knights. He also has images of what the siege tower looks like lined up against the official Lion Knight's castle as well as his Mountain Fortress. And it looks pretty good in those pictures, definitely proportional. But I sort of judge this set on all of its parts together. Are you getting $230 worth of value? Now, in terms of price per piece, the answer would be yes. It has 2,598 total parts, as well as 18 minifigures. That's definitely a generous assortment. Looks like you have at least one Lion Knight, quite a few Black Falcons, as well as a couple of villagers or peasants in there. And it is a full camp. You have tents, you have a trebuchet, you have a ladder, you have a couple of stalls for, looks like a blacksmith, various supplies. You could definitely create a full scene with this set around a castle. The difficulty here is going to be convincing people that this is worth $230. Because yes, you're going to sell a bunch of copies of it, but I think the reception also matters as well. Because Sleepless Night already has a product that sold 30,000 copies, but I get the impression that LEGO is looking at how these Bricklink designer projects do, and that influences their actual official sets. And if they see people saying, "Oh, we don't think this is worth the price," "Oh, we're not getting enough," "Oh, we'd rather have this instead," I really think that influences their decision making. And there are a lot of comments on this project before it's even available saying things like it's too expensive or I'm not getting enough with this. Is that true? I mean, personally, I don't think I'd get it just because it's so many small models in one box. If I'm going to be paying $230, I think I'm going to want something solid, probably a building. And he never could have achieved what someone like me would be looking for with the Siege Encampment because it's inherently mobile, right? But say he'd sold that trebuchet separately or the siege tower separately. I'd be all over that. I think a trebuchet is great. LEGO's never made a trebuchet. I'd love to have one that I could park outside of a castle. I'm just not going to pay $230 just to get that trebuchet. A lot of the individual parts of this, I think, are pretty well designed. Like those two tents on the left, those are pretty good. I just think together it sort of reminds me of the Battle of Hoth set, the Star Wars set that got so much crap a few years ago because it was a bunch of parts in a set. It wasn't a UCS set. It was a bunch of small models masquerading as a UCS set. And as good as some of these small models may be, people are going to be looking at that price tag and saying, why are there all these little builds in here? Where's the meat of it? And that's not fair, but that's how they're looking at it. So ultimately, it's going to be up to you whether or not you want this thing. But I personally don't think I'll be interested for those reasons. I'm not sure why the Bricklink designer sets have to be so huge. I don't know why you couldn't make a $40 set or even a $50 or $60 set that would sell really well. I mean, you'd get a higher cut, of course, if you sell a more, the same number of copies of a more expensive set, $230 set, 30,000 copies versus a $50 set, 30,000 copies. I get the financial aspect, but we're simply still not getting those smaller sets. This is a complaint I keep returning to. And as well as this might do, it doesn't change that problem. So personally, I won't be getting this. No offense to Sleepless Night, I think it's well designed. Let me know in the comments below what you think. Will you be buying this? Did you know it existed before today? I'm curious. And what are your thoughts on all of these smaller models being included in the same box? Let me know and I'll be sure to respond. Thanks for watching.